Hello fellow humans, today we're going to take a look at this LEGO Marvel Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings set, Escape from the Ten Rings. Let's get started. So looking at the box, there's not much to see. I just kind of like this ornament that they've got going on with Shang-Chi standing at the right, and here's the figure of Shang-Chi at the top. And we've got the usual backside with a few characters fighting and just a bit more of the builds in view. So let's continue with the finished build. This is the build all finished up. Now let's take a better look at the minifigs. Starting off with our smallest figure, here we've got Morris. He's a single mold and hasn't got any printing on him. That's a bit surprising for the face for sure, but in the movie he doesn't have a face, it seems. I'd like to have seen some printing on the wings, because from a Marvel Legends figure we know that he's got gravings, not tan ones. But I think it's a decent figure, so let's move on. Next up we've got our protagonist, Shang-Chi himself. I really like what they did for his torso printing. It's extremely detailed, and that level of detail continues to the back. As we have come to expect from LEGO Marvel figures, he doesn't have leg printing, but for that character, I think that's okay. What really bothers me though is his face. It doesn't really match the actor's likeness, and normally LEGO does a nougat skin tone for Asian actors, but here they didn't do that. He's got two sides to his face, and that's about it for Shang-Chi. Moving on from Shang-Chi, we've got his dad, Wenwu. And that's some printing to be reckoned with. I really love it. It's a perfect continuation on the legs, and the backside looks okay as well. The face has got the same problem as Shang-Chi, but this one actually doesn't have a backside. So yeah, that's about it for this figure. This is Katie, and she's got a really nice print for her kimono. Look at all these flowers, and that print continues to the legs. She's carrying a crossbow, but crossbows aren't really rare, so that's nothing special. She's got really nice back printing as well, and you can see she's got a second face. That's about it for this figure. Last in line, we've got Razor Fist. And let's talk about the elephant in the room. The face again. It doesn't match the actor. He's got a beard, not stubbles. But I think elsewhere the figure is pretty nice. Just the torso printing is the good part. He's got the logo of the 10 rings on the back. You can see it now. And a double face, but we're going to get to that later, but I really have to replace that. That doesn't match him at all. Continuing from the figures, let's begin with looking at the set itself. Starting off with this weapons rack. It's nothing special, but I like it. It's got 4 weapons on it, 2 daggers, a spear, and a blade. It's a really simple build, so let's move it out of the way. Next up, we've got this turret here. It's a pretty plain and simple build, and it can shoot. That's about it for this turret. Let's get on with the next one. This turret can also shoot, but with a different projectile. Boom. I like the design with these Nexonite shields on the side. It's pretty clever. The activator on the back that sticks out way too much. And as you may hear, I think these are just a waste of pieces. You could have just included a piece of the street or a little bit of the building instead. That would have been way cooler, in my opinion. What I do like, however, are these spikes. I think for the few pieces they use, they are really clever. I like the tail light, and the sticker adds nice little bit of detail. It's a standard bike, what should I say? And we've got a second one, just in turquoise, and just to say it, it's got the logo of the 10 rings at the side, so not much to say about this. Last but not least, we've got, of course, the car. And to me it looks like some sort of SUV. And I really like the sticker detail. Do you ever see how much damage these cars in the movies have? So many dents and scratches. I mean, they're getting shot at, they're driving to explosions, so what would you expect? From the underside, there is a little bit of detail with these round pieces here, but sadly you can see the filler brakes in teal shining through. A clever technique are these tubes for the headlights, and they're in trans blue, so just like the color of the windows. Let's continue with the interior, because that's actually kind of clever. As you can see, the interior is pretty fleshed out. I was surprised to see that it's pretty much covered up in tan and dark tan. And to my surprise, it also fits 3 figures. And I'm going to show that to you now. So here we've got a car filled up with people, and here's the view from the front. And if you open up the roof, we can see that I was actually kind of lying before. It can only really fit 2 figures and Morris, but we just count him as a figure. Sadly, there's no place to put Katie's crossbow, so I would have included a place for it, just saying. That's about it for the car. Now that we've taken a look at everything, I'm going to take my verdict. To me, the set is a 7 out of 10. Just because, although the minifigs are great, the builds are not really. The car's the best part about it, for sure. But the rest, they just don't seem too exciting to me. But now, we have still one part left. The upgrades. Remember what I said about Razor Fist in the beginning of the video? Yeah, I upgraded his face, and although it isn't totally accurate, I think it's way better than what Lego did. I just took one of the faces from Lego the Hobbit's dwarfs, and now he's got a beard. Yay! Now there's one thing about the minifigures I also like to change that I also mentioned. So let's get into that. So here you can see Shang-Chi again, and I just changed out his face for one of the new Clone Trooper ones. But with that I also changed out his hands to black gloves because I didn't have any skin tone hands in that color. And that's about it what I did to this figure. Yeah. And finally, I just set up a little bit of an action scene with the car blowing up. And if you want to see a better picture of this, go follow me on my Instagram, it's linked down below. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the bell. But you don't have to. Goodbye everybody.